Trixie Mattel wept in front of a live audience in Berlin as she watched her dreams get crushed after getting booted off of RuPaul's Drag Race. Audiences everywhere booed RuPaul's decision, saying neither Trixie nor Pearl should have been up for elimination. Even Lady Bunny and Alaska have voiced their support with the hashtag Justice for Trixie.
Others say this is just a cheap attempt by the producers to get people talking and watching the reality TV show. If that's the case, we're all in. Today, Trixie Mattel gives us a deeper shade of pink and shares with us the intense emotions she felt after being forced to lip sync for her life against her gal pal Pearl.
Plus, Trixie's past as gay country singer-songwriter Brian Furcus.
How to move forward when you don't get what you want.
And how soon before she releases her inevitable single. I'm Fausto Fernos.
I'm Mark Fillion.
And this is Feast of Fun. The time has come for you to show how fierce and fabulous you are, hunty.
Check out our t-shirts inspired by many great moments in drag in our fashion boutique, feastoffun.com/store.
Hello.
Hi, Trixie.
What's up, dude?
Hey, Mr. Furcus.
Hello there, sir.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing great. Hey, I've not been watching RuPaul's Drag Race. Anything interesting happen lately?
Not anymore.
No?
What happened? I missed that episode.
Something transpired on Monday that we're not going to address. I'm just kidding.
We won't talk about it anymore.
Trixie Mattel bit the big one, and it was a sad day for everyone. It's been a sad week for everyone.
I'm not a big fan of Trixie Mattel, but I love Trixie Mattel.
That is so half-hearted. Thank you.
So you were in a nightclub in Berlin.
Yeah, let me tell
knowing
you.
full well what was going to transpire.
I'm looking at my schedule, and I'm like, oh, perfect. I'm going to be in Berlin for a drag race. Great. And then I count out the dates like 3 days beforehand, and I'm like, oh, shit. But you know what? In a weird way, the other alternative is to be in my hometown, stand in a room full of my loved ones who are rooting for me, and watch their horrible, heartbroken faces. I'd rather stand in a room with a language barrier to, buffer out the pain a little bit.
Yeah.
And then standing there, and I'm sitting there, and I start out the episode making my stupid little jokes, just reading the other queens and talking little Mystery Science Theater about the process of filming and telling people what's up. And then as it gets closer to the end of the episode, I'm like, all right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then it's a room full of people, and most of them do speak English, and we're all cheering, and we love my runway, and they love the tanning video. And then it gets to the lip sync, and it gets really quiet, and the room's like, and then the room is watching me lip sync, and they're like, yes, yes, yes. And then they're clapping, and then RuPaul says, Pearl, you stay, and the room just gets like, what? Like, what? I mean, I think some of them were yelling, Scheiße, or whatever the fuck German people say, but and then as soon as the lip sync ends, I just start crying. And I've seen the episode once in my hotel room, and I was fine watching it. When I watched it in the hotel room, the only thing that really choked me up was watching Pearl go through a hard time. But then, it was, I'm just start bawling, and then everyone in the room starts clapping for me, and I'm just still crying even harder. It was bad.
I'm so sorry, honey, and it was heartbreaking actually to watch that on YouTube.
I know. I'm sitting there looking like a Barbie 1991, and I'm just sitting there in a big wig, just sobbing. It was kind of fucked up to watch. The tears of a clown.
Serving up Lifetime Movie of the Week realness.
Yes, it was very that.
So, I mean, considering that you knew this was going to happen and seeing it on television, what was the big difference in that?
What's weird about it is, we filmed it a year ago, and here's what's really weird about it. I was talking to Katya about this, telling her about my experience, and I was like, it's weird because even though I knew the outcome of filming, the hype and people cheering for me all year and people saying that they couldn't wait to see me on it and I was their favorite and they knew I was going to make top 3, I almost get wrapped up in that idea that I'm cheering for myself too. And then to watch it and remember oh, right, this happens. You're Got it.
I'm sorry, I was watching a little Simpsons on the side here.
You didn't give a fuck. You were sitting there with that soup ready.
Listen, I'm out $1,000 because of you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Trixie.
Can I say fuck on here?
You can say fuck all
Do
you want.
your 6 listeners care?
Hey,
Hey, be nice. Miss Fame was on the show, too.
Oh, I got a joke for you. You want to hear it?
Yeah, let's hear it.
How did Miss Fame get on RuPaul's Drag Race?
how?
Same way as everybody else. She sent in her audition tape.
She said she uses 6
comedy.
pieces of tape for that face.
She's such a beautiful man and woman. It's one of those things where you see your really skinny friend dieting and you're like, girl, calm down.
I kind of felt bad, like at the end of the interview. I think I may have been a little rude to her, and I hope she doesn't take it the wrong way. But, she forgot her hip pads back in New York, and so she, ran to Beatniks. Well, first, I called Beatniks for her, but actually I got Beatrice's Kitchen, and I asked if they had hip pads for drag queens, and she's just like, no, but you're thinking of Beatniks, and yes, they do have it. And so then she came here, and we quickly assembled some hip pads out of old T-shirts and stuff.
Wait, was she working in Chicago?
Yeah, she was in Chicago. We interviewed this. She was on yesterday's show. First of all, she says it was kind of exciting, wasn't it, to get the hip pads all together, and work it, because we were frantic on this pace because we're under a time limit trying to get it done. And I said, yes, it was very exciting. And I said, not as exciting as doing drugs with Sharon Needles, but still it was pretty good.
We get it. Sharon Needles. We get it.
And so she seemed a little like, I don't know, maybe off put by it. But when she was up on stage, she was saying like about how she forgot her hip pads to the audience, and she goes, over here I made this out of t-shirts. I got Gia Gunn's t-shirt on this side, and then I've got Pearl's t-shirt over on this side, and then my ass is all Trixie Mattel, and then she rubs her hands all over her ass.
She said that about me.
Well, because she saw the stack of Gia Gunn and Trixie Mattel t-shirts that we had, and she was like, can I cut these up and shove them in my ass? I was like...
It's funny because for traveling, I've actually had to corset more and pad less because I couldn't fit my old pads in a suitcase. Like, they take up half a suitcase. So I'm like, Trixie's got to lose some weight. And people are always like, why do you pad so much? You look bad. I'm like, because I don't think looking curvy and big is really a bad thing. So I don't really care.
All about the bass, honey. All about the bass.
No treble.
The thing about Miss Fame, too, is she really does have a huge sense of humor about herself. Like, she can take a joke, totally.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's great because I think all the girls of this season have a really good head on their shoulders. And to me, it's actually heartbreaking to see any of them go home. But it's especially hard to see you because we know you.
Yeah, Ginger's head literally does sit on her shoulders.
And her legs go all the way to the floor. Thank you, Devin Green.
This season's so good. Everybody in this season loves to joke about themselves. And there's so many ridiculously talented people. It's insane. Myself included.
Well, let's talk about your one look that you've had this entire season. Every time they show you, it's the same thing over and over again. That red and black plaid shirt. Did you only have one shirt, honey?
No. Well, you don't know about this.
Even in the what's the pack-in you were wearing, that same damn shirt.
Change clothes at RuPaul's Drag Race. When they do the interviews, they want you to wear the same shirt every time.
Every time?
Yeah, because they want, I'm assuming it's because they want to be able to take what you said one day and maybe move it to a different situation that fits better.
I don't think they did that in the past, though, did they?
Yes, they changed that.
That's new, I believe.
No, because last season they're wearing the same shit every time, too.
Oh, really? Maybe I didn't notice it just because...
What show are you guys watching?
I think it was RuPaul's Drag Race. They were making a cake, and there were 3 judges, and one of them had a thick pair of glasses, and they sent somebody packing home after their souffle fell.
The RuPaul's Top Chef Jr. Got it.
Well, I think it was the Food Channel. Isn't it weird, like all television now is the same format? People doing something, 3 judges who are not qualified to talk about it, sending them home.
Well, I think it's especially in the magic of television, what's cheaper to produce? A whole storyline with all these actors and all this shit, or put some people who hate each other in a room and push record,
Listen, they have earned their spot there, that's for sure. They've all been in that culture and all done those kinds of things. And yes, maybe RuPaul might not be the most phenomenal singer in the world, but, her music is still fun.
RuPaul's an amazing singer and amazing musician, and I was actually talking about this with Miss Fame, is that it was kind of unfair to ask everybody else to sing in her range, instead of them transposing the songs into something more reasonable.
Well, here's the real tea. It's a singing challenge, but you don't have to sing at all to win. I mean, look at Katya. She doesn't sing at all, and she murdered it, you know?
Oh, I want to tell you, I stumbled across this new musician that I really, really enjoy his music. He's like an independent singer-songwriter from Wisconsin. His name is Brian Furcus.
Ew, stop it.
Are you dredging things up from the internet?
Trixie, we had no idea that before you were a drag queen, you were a folk singer.
Well, it's just like I was doing that ever since I was like 11, 12. I mean, I grew up, my grandpa was a country singer, and I always played guitar and sang with him, and I always thought that's what I was going to do for a living. I went to school for music, and then it was just like, I mean, I'm okay, but I'm just like, it wasn't ever, I was real with myself about like, this is fun, and I'm okay. I'm not good enough to work doing this. Music is something that you can be paid to do it and enjoy it, or you can just do it for the fun of it, enjoy it. So it doesn't matter.
Did you perform at Pride Fest when we were there? Fasto insists you were there when we were there.
I don't know. I only learned who you guys were like 8 months ago.
I kind of remember you, though, actually. I said, oh, isn't that nice? Like young guys are performing.
No, I think I was there. I think I was dressed as an Indian, actually. I'm pretty sure I was in like a butt flap with feathers playing my guitar, and I was playing like old Loretta Lynn songs or something.
Really?
Yeah. Well, then with drag, I mean, music is really creative, but when drag started to happen more, it just kind of like took up all my creative energy. I think I'm better at drag than I ever was at music.
Well, I think, Where the Grass is Much Greener is a song that stands the test of time.
Oh.
We'll play it at the end of the show so the listeners can judge for themselves. Is Trixie a better musician or a drag queen?
Well, it seems is like this day and age too is like if you really want to be out and gay and be happy with who you are and to make it into entertainment, it's like drag is kind of like the gateway to that for a lot of people. I have friends, love Tom Goss, and I love Eric Hyman and Levi Christ, these singer, songwriter, performers. And it's just like that living, it's really hard to get people to come out to listen to your music in a club or to buy your CDs. But, you put on a wig and a dress and, people show up for you.
Yeah, I think that's true. I mean, I don't know. There's something more. Doing drag was something that was just, I just felt like uses more of my skills. Like music was something I enjoyed, but maybe not something that I was the most organically good at. Whereas drag was like, wow, this is all like both enjoyable, and it seems like it uses my skill set the most.
Are you still playing the guitar?
I still have all my guitars in my house, and I mean, I've been playing for like 12 years or whatever, but it's more transition to something where when I want to relax or something, or I'm alone in my house, I love to play it. But I don't even really care about playing in front of people anymore. It's more just for me.
What song do you usually play to relax?
I mean, I love to play like anything old country music. Like my all-time favorites are like, like the Merle Haggard, George Strait, Johnny Cash, Loretta Lynn, anything like that.
Wow. I had no idea you were a country fanatic.
Well, yeah, Brian and Trixie are so different. I mean, Trixie listens to the most, ignorant drag pop music, but Brian, don't really listen to any of that, Any chance that Trixie Mattel might pull out a pink guitar and be Rock and Roll Barbie or Gem and the Holograms? No, I don't know. I just kind of gave it up. It's just not, I mean, I like it, but I don't really plan on ever going back to it. Also, I don't like parody music, and I do more comedy drag, and I don't really like funny music. Like, for example, I love Sarah Silverman, but anytime in her specials when there's like funny music, I just don't think it's funny. I skip over it. I just don't think funny music I don't enjoy it. I feel like, did we talk about this before about parody songs? I feel like maybe we did. Maybe that's what it's a hard thing to do well. In episode 4, because I'm not passionate about parody music. I just don't. I think you did great, and I thought that if anything, yours was definitely not on the bottom of the funniest. I would say agree. The one where the queens are pushing RuPaul's products, yawn-worthy. I think doing something referential to RuPaul or Drag Race is a safe but less funny move. And that's why I don't get why that was so successful for them. Well, and when they sort of like made fun of Drag U, then and RuPaul's like, what are you? And I'm like, this is a roast of RuPaul. I mean, yeah, literally all I do is show up and say funny things about people to their face. And I think if you can't take the joke, you forgot how to laugh at yourself. You forgot who you are, RuPaul. Especially now that it's eliminated, I'm all bitter. I just show up to the club and I'm just like, here's the real tea. Was it hard to hide that bitterness for like practically a whole year? No, because I wasn't bitter. I mean, here's the real tea. I got home from Drag Race. When I was in the moment, I was like, I love our parody video. Oh my God, I love my green runway. Oh, I'm in the bottom. I don't get it. Okay, I'll lip sync. Because I was like, I love Pearl. Everybody has a different skill set. I'm pretty sure I could eat her alive in this lip sync. I I was certain that I was going to be doing the lip sync. And then when they said, Pearl, you stay, I was like, oh my God, Pearl's going to get to stay too. Thank God. And then they're like, Trixie, sashay. And I was like, what? Like I couldn't even believe it. And so I get home from Drag Race. And my boyfriend's like, what happened? I'm like, I don't know. I liked my challenge. I liked my runway, and I lip synced really well, and I don't get it. And then I thought, I'll watch the episode. When I watch the episode, I'll get it. I'm sure I'll see the flaws. I'll see what didn't work. And I'm watching the episode, and I'm watching it. And after watching the episode 3 times, and I've watched the lip sync like 10 times, I'm still just like, I don't see it.
Do you feel as though it's a hashtag injustice?
Well, it's like I'm looking at one of those things that says you're colorblind, and I don't see the number. And they're saying like, Trixie, this and this, like the sashay away still just doesn't seem, I just don't see why. I don't get it. But that's just an opinion. I don't get it.
Well, it's not easy to produce any kind of television show, and certainly a reality contest where sometimes really good people are asked to leave early.
I think the reason the internet literally shut down on Monday night or Tuesday morning was because I think they watched audiences. Again, this is my opinion. But audiences watch Drag Race because it's the Olympics of drag. But I think in this episode, they felt like they were watching like a Rue Goldberg machine. Get it, Rue Goldberg?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it was like, they call it the Olympics of drag, but in this episode, it felt like you were watching this ball go up, down, sideways, but it's still just a machine with a designed ending. It was like, I don't get it. You know what I mean?
For people who don't know who Rube Goldberg is the mouse trap game where the little...
Yeah.
What is it? It goes into the bathtub and then goes in the seesaw and down the little chute.
Hit some dominoes.
I think audiences were watching it, and they're just, the reason the Justice for Trixie thing got so intense is because people are like, I don't get it.
Well, you were certainly a fan favorite. People love and adore your style and who you are and your performance.
Well, that's been great too. I mean, it's like, I knew it was coming, and Tuesday morning, my manager calls me and she's like, how's it going, girl? And I'm like, did everybody call and cancel all the gigs? And she's like, no, I can't. She's like, it's the opposite. She's like, you're sold out at all your shows for the next few weeks because of that. It's been great.
So it must feel you sort of feel vindicated in that sense.
A little bit. It's one of those things where I thought with editing and like the magic of reality TV, I thought that I would end up looking like I'm not funny, or I would end up looking like I'm a bad lip syncer. But instead, I'm watching it. I'm like, I'm pretty happy with, people are like, what would you have changed about your performance in that episode? I'm like, kind of none of it. I loved my lip sync. I mean, I don't think I should have had to lip sync, but then I loved my lip sync. So I'm like, I don't get it.
Well, anybody who's worried that, Trixie is gone forever, just remember, she'll be back on Cooking with Drag Queens, premiering in April. Hold on a second. Ding.
Well, that's the real tea too. Is you sign up to be on this show. It's a competition, but it's also a TV show. You sign up to be part of a great TV show, whether or not it's a competition or planned. It's not even what you sign up for. You sign up to be part of this amazing thing.
Do you think that's going to affect what kind of queens they're able to get in the future, though?
I don't know. I mean, queens are watching it, and again, when I watch it, maybe I love myself too much, but I'm like, I don't even get why I lip synced. I don't even get it. So I think some people are watching it and they were like, what's going on?
Lady Bunny said she's never watched a single episode of RuPaul's Drag Race except yours.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. She watched mine because she heard about what happened. And online it was like Jackie Beat, like Wendy Ho, like legends. And like so many queens from past seasons were tweeting like, what the fuck just happened?
Hey, don't get too carried away with Jackie B and Wendy Ho.
Well,
legends.
Listen, they are legends.
They're legends to me.
They're absolutely, without a doubt.
I mean, I love RuPaul. But my RuPaul is more like Lady Bunny, Jackie B. Like,
She's a woman of the people.
Idol.
Do you feel like this kind of paints RuPaul in an unflattering light?
I don't think I think it's falling on RuPaul. Like, it sucks to see people tweeting RuPaul like, not fair. Like, RuPaul.
She blocked people on Twitter.
She did.
Yeah.
I know, it's intense.
It's a turf war.
Very
trans exclusionary.
You're sort of like the Katniss of Drag Race now.
Well, it's like, honestly, I feel like people believe it to be something, and then it's like you stepped out behind the mall and you saw Santa Claus with his beard off smoking a cigarette, and now you're disillusioned a little bit. I think that's how some people are feeling.
Well, and a lot of people are feeling as though they're getting played and that you will return to the program. And now I know you can't speak to that because it's a future kind of thing.
I will say, wouldn't that be wonderful?
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
But again, some fans have told me, like, I think you come back, but even if you do come back, I'm not going to feel justified because I'm going to feel like they just sent you home to bring you back for drama. Which either way, it's a magical television program. That's why we watch it.
So are we going to start seeing a post-apocalyptic scenario where drag queens are put in a pit with a bunch of weapons and they have to fight for their lives? Or they could do it with robots. They have robot drag race. Robots, start your engines and may the best machine win.
That's what it is. I thought that's what it was now. Well, that's the thing is, watching it is like 41 minutes of TV on a Monday. You can have a glass of wine and unwind with your friends. But being on it is 2 days of being in drag, fearing for your life. Like, that's why every episode is like 2 days of just being scared and uncomfortable and not knowing how you did and what the judges are going to think. Because again, judges are just people with opinions. It's you and I, but they're stuck behind a desk. I mean, Michelle and Ru obviously have so much experience and knowledge. They really do know a lot about drag. And that's what's funny online. People are like, ooh, Michelle's going to rip Trixie's makeup apart. It's like, give Michelle some credit. If you know anything about her history, Michelle has seen and appreciated every type of drag. I think people paint her to be this like bitch who's obsessed with like fishy and glamour, and she really knows more than I think people get her credit for.
Yeah, I hope that she actually starts applying all that knowledge to her stage act at the Battle of the Seasons. Just kidding.
I love Battle of Seasons.
Did you see that was the I Dream a Genie bra piece that she wears with tassels hanging off of the nipples?
I did see that she was one of the few people online who came to RuPaul's aid with the elimination, and she believed that it was a good choice. So she's supporting her girl.
Well, part of it is it wasn't that the choice. It was the fact that you and Pearl were up for elimination, and other people don't feel as strongly about other contestants this season. And why did you make the leader of one of the challenges who the challenge and its result was not one of the worst ones?
Yeah, well,
on
one hand, there was no team leader. We were just in a group. On the other hand, it's like, I came up with the concepts, and I mean, they didn't show this, but I wrote a lot of the lyrics and most of the jokes, and my concept is what gave people an opportunity to shine in the judges' eyes, and I still thought I shined. I'm just like, I don't get it. I loved our video. And then again, I'm like the sock puppet of drag. I love like knock jokes. So if something's not funny that I did, you probably just have better taste than me. You know what I mean?
Dixie Coop on Facebook says, is your plastic BPA free or does it give off sweet toxins into the environment?
I don't know what BPA is, but for all inquiries, book me at booktrixiemattel@gmail.com.
She wants to know if your plastic's poison. BPA is like the stuff that gives you cancer.
I don't know. Okay. I don't even know what that is.
Lynn Leoness Cream says, Trixie Mattel, your Asian eleganza was wonton of fun. Do you think your elimination will make the show dim sum?
Okay, backstory. Number one, that's Lynn. She made that costume for me.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
So I thought she made it for Kimchi. Didn't she make that for Kimchi?
No, she made it for me, but here's the real tea. It's mine, but when your Asian friend wears it, people assume it belongs to her. I'm like, you guys are racist. Really?
Well, she didn't clarify that. Let me just clarify. I'm standing in Kimchi's apartment, and she put, and I said, and I'm looking at her clothes, and I said, oh, there's that kimono that Trixie Mattel was worn in
Berlin.
At the Berlin, but also in the trailer for RuPaul's Drag Race. And she said, "Oh yeah, I love this." What, can you do a good impersonation?
Are you giving her an Asian? I mean, I don't support an Asian accent, but I do support a Kimchi accent.
What can you do your best Kimchi impersonation?
Yeah, she's like Kim is just like she's amazing at like reading you without knowing she's reading you. So she'll be like, Trixie, you look really nice when your eyebrows are even. She has this. And Kim and I share, I mean, we're like, number one, we're like conjoined best friend twins, but we also wear the same dress size, same shoe size. We're a similar everything. So we borrow a lot of stuff, to each other.
But Kimchi's like a lot taller than you are.
She is, but when you're in drag, I mean, it's not that big of a difference. I wear, I think, taller hair.
So anyways, Kimchi does not correct me. The fact that I'm like, I'm not know a kimono from a Sean
Well, you're
Sam.
a racist.
Well, am I racist because I don't know the difference between the names of dresses in other cultures?
Well,
Why not
maybe
just call it a dress?
Asian guys, you would have your shit together.
I'd like for you to tell me what a salsera dress looks like. Okay. I mean, there's so much fashion all over the world. Anyways, so this thing is hanging on the dress, and I'm just saying, oh, look, this is the dress that Trixie borrowed from you, and she never corrected me.
She did say it was the dress that Trixie got eliminated in, though, isn't it?
No, she never said it. And so I posted it on Facebook, and I got read to filth, honey. They tore me a new asshole. I could get fucked by 2 dicks now.
Well, I think I don't even know how to say the word. I think it's like a Changyasm thing.
Sean Sam. I learned the word now.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. When you make a mistake, it's kind of like just laugh it off and be like, hey, this is a learning opportunity for me.
Well, Kim is so in touch with fashion around the world, but specifically in like Asian cultures, that's such a big influence of hers. So she really knows more than everyone. So.
Well, she is from Korea, too. That's what kind of helps.
She is.
Avery on Twitter, Avery AXOXO, says, what is your favorite drag look you've ever done in your entire career?
I would say one of my favorites would be, working for Neverland in Chicago, the Amazing Circuit Party, I get the opportunity to produce these really cool high concept looks. One of my all-time favorites is probably one time for an Alice in Wonderland party, I wore this look that looked like I had playing cards flying all over my body. Yeah. That was really fun to wear. I also really liked I really loved my bearded look on the show. I really loved that look. No, I take it back. My jet set look, I wear that all the time. That spacesuit is so cool.
It is kind of very, reminds me of Buddy Cole from The Kids in the Hall when he made himself a custom baseball outfit. Do you remember that? Google it, kids. Buddy Cole, baseball outfit, and he has the holes cut out for the nipples to show.
Is that like an old people thing?
Kids in the Hall is a beloved comedy television program.
Yeah, it was on around the same time as I Love Lucy.
Got it.
Oh, that's so sad. These poor comedy legends are all like forgotten now.
I know.
They're forgotten.
Oh my God, that means that we're all destined to be in that same place.
Oh yeah, someday I'm gonna be like, I was on Drag Race, and somebody's gonna be like, fuck that, what is that? And get in their flying car and drive away.
They're like,
so what reality TV show do you want to get eliminated from now?
All Stars? No, probably. If I was going to do something, I've always wanted to do like Wipeout. I've always wanted to do one of those shows as a boy where I get to or like Amazing Race. I'd always love to do something like that.
Who would you take on Amazing Race with you?
Kim.
Yes, thank you.
Kimchi knows stuff.
She knows where to find the food, where to go shopping.
Chicago Queens, everybody has superheroes, Annika could talk people into anything, Shay could probably intimidate someone.
No, I think you and Kimchi would have great chemistry together, and seeing you guys fight for your lives in the Amazon would be amazing.
And if you go with Kimchi, you'll be able to get a cab anywhere in the world. But if you go with Shay, you're fucked.
Yeah. I joke about Kim, reading you to filth, but Kim is one of those people where she will not let you walk on stage if there's something that she knows could be better. And that's kind of like, she only tells you because she wants good things for you.
Well, you had a lot of outfits and looks that didn't make it onto the show. April Carry-On did something really clever, is that on her Instagram account, every week she posted what she would have worn that week. Any plans on doing that, or?
Yeah, I have most of those looks. Most of my looks for the runway I've worn in the past, so I'll be able to post them. I haven't really had to shoot a lot of them because I've worn a lot of them.
Yeah.
I've been thinking to myself.
Well, you didn't set anything on fire. You didn't throw it in the dumpster in anger.
No, I really wish I would have kept my look from the first episode that I made, my tearaway tennis resort look. Yeah. But the second episode, I dismantled it to make a pattern out of it.
Really?
Yeah, so it's ruined. I was like, I wish I still had that. I love that tennis dress.
No, you can make it again.
I guess.
Matt Loman asks, who would you have done for a snatch game?
Originally my plan was to do Anne Frank, but they told me not even to bring it. Because I wasn't allowed to do it. And then my RuPaul's actually really good.
Really?
Yeah. really good.
Can you give us a taste of it?
Sure. Okay, hold on. Let me warm up. Let me go put on a blonde wig quick. Okay. Carl, you are truly semi-precious, but are you stoned? In the challenge, you clammed up, and we're still waiting for you to come out of your shell.
Why does RuPaul talk like everything that she says was pre-recorded and edited by a machine?
Because it is. No, that's one of my favorite things. I mean, I love Drag Race, but one of my favorite things is the puns. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm literally in my living room doing death drops when they said, like, Stacey Lane Matthews, your LeMay was lame. I'm like, ah! You know what I mean? So good.
Oh, have you written your own elimination puns for other queens?
I have.
Can I hear some of those?
I was like, Candy Ho, I can tell by the way you sissy that walk that the sewing challenge was not your first time on the bottom.
More.
More. I mean, I love Trixie Mattel.
Yeah.
Your in your tanning video, you got burned, and your green runway look was not meant to be.
Yes.
I just love puns, and that's why I love RuPaul. Again, I have a bad sense of humor. You know, stupid.
You know, RuPaul's really good at coming up with those things, but I heard that John Pauley actually sits in a room.
Jane Pauley?
Yes, and he feeds the jokes into RuPaul's head via wireless.
I don't want to ruin the illusion, so I don't want to confirm nor deny that.
Now, I heard one rumor in season 5 that they had switched over to a new sound system, and they started getting the police radio in RuPaul's earpiece, and so she started like saying like, "There's a highway robbery at 54th and Central."
Car 54. Where are you?
That's funny. I hope that's true. That's very funny.
And people are like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
And then she just started like talking like, be like, with ginkgoba, you can fight cancer. Call this toll-free number and find out how.
That's great.
Yeah, RuPaul's a programmable robot, people.
Yes, but I love the puns. Or like in what did she say in All Stars? And she said, "Raven, your B. Arthur was not golden, girl." I was like, yeah. Like when they told Miss Fame that her performance was on autopilot for the Glamzonian Air Race Challenge, I was like, yes, Gaga.
Yeah.
So good.
So you're not going to be bringing back the music thing ever.
I've never shown. I never wanted to make Trixie Mattel a musical thing ever.
I want you.
But are you coming out with a single though?
No, I mean, well, I did that song with RuPaul, and then I provided some spoken stuff for some songs, but I don't know. I feel like drag music is usually bad. I mean, I went home in a musical comedy singing challenge. I'm not going to turn around and try to do it. Here's what I learned from episode 4. I'm not funny. I can't sing, and I can't lip sync.
Listen,
so I'm just going to transition into like corporate law or something.
If Raja can do zoomy, everybody,
anybody can do me.
Anybody can put on a single.
Anybody can do it.
Look at me.
In fact, if you're not putting on a single, you're missing out on money. And the other thing, I'm going to give you some unsolicited advice, honey. $25 for a t-shirt is lowballing it.
Girl, I want people to have the shirt. Despite their economic
you're so
bracket.
sweet. Listen, they can turn tricks on the corner just like all the rest of us can to get that t-shirt money.
Meanwhile, you guys are on the corner with your headset recording, like, get your $40 Feast of Fun cum rag or whatever you sell. I don't know.
Actually, our t-shirts are also $25.
And we haven't sold a cum rag in
I love your
8
shirt.
years.
I wear my Get Your Reading is Fundamental shirt from Feast of Fun. I wear it all the time.
Not available on iTunes.
Yeah, not available.
Feastofun.com/store.
I
wear your Trixie Mattel t-shirt too, and that's a full-on pink shirt. You know.
Yeah.
Well, actually, your shirt is now living inside of Miss Fame's ass.
Perfect. I'm working on a tank top right now, and that'll be really good.
Ooh.
Also, I'm working on all this time alone. I'm not working on music, but all this time alone traveling has been a good opportunity. I'm working on some comedy, so I can hopefully do some traveling stories and Joe.
Oh, you're going to join the Queens of Comedy tour?
Hopefully, the Queefs of Comedy.
The Queefs.
I've been doing this new thing that you guys maybe need to try when you're traveling. Okay, because obviously I'm traveling alone. When I hear the housekeeper knock on the door, housekeeping, I book it. I hide behind the curtain. And I stand there and I wait till she comes in and starts cleaning, and then I pop out and say, "Don't steal from me."
Ooh.
And we laugh, and then I get her fired, and it's fun for everyone. I've only done it twice, but the first time the girl laughed so hard, and the second time the girl out like she was embarrassed. So
I hope are you videotaping it?
I'm not videotaping. That would be no. That's a good idea.
You should totally videotape it, and then do a super cut of all of them and put them all together and see how that goes. You might have to blur out their faces, but
yeah. Well, yeah, and oh my God, and they really. I mean, the more I travel, these room cleaners really have the most thankless job in the world. Like, think about it. As I'm pranking them and ruining their day, they literally come in while you're gone, clean up all your shit, and are gone before you get back. Like when your mom was like, "Do you think that little elves come in and clean up after you?" Like, they do. They really do.
Well, they're not elves. They're just prefer to be called short people.
Short people. My grandma was always really big on clean up the room a little bit, make the person tip, and they really work like crazy. Just consider that they clean how many rooms a day and what kind of time. It takes me a year to clean the one room in my house. Do you know what I mean?
It's a lot easier to clean someone's room when it's not your own stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Or could you imagine if they were working like a seedy hotel in Vegas, and you're like, "I'm going to work. It's today the day I find a dead body." You know what I mean? They could find anything in these rooms.
You know what I discovered talking to I have a friend who's got an extremely wealthy husband who's really obnoxious, and he drinks way too much. Well, I'm not wealthy. So he said that when you're in a hotel room, you can shit the bed 2 times, but on the 3rd time they throw you out.
Stop it.
Yeah. And I'm just like, so how many hotels is your husband being thrown out? He goes, lots. I'm like, so your husband has shit the bed 3 times? He goes, well, he drinks so much. And
more than 3 times on several occasions.
And so I don't want to out anybody, but there's a drag queen who I'm close with from Drag Race season 7 who called me, and I'm like, "What's up, girl?" And she was like, "I'm good. I shit the bed last night." I'm like, "What? Like you shit the bed? Like you did a bad job at something in your life?" She's like, "No, like I woke up stuck to the bed with feces all over my legs." I'm like, "Oh shit."
Oh my, that's why. What happened? Yeah. Do you know? Was she drunk?
Poor Katya.
It was the morning after this person. I don't want to say. Hypothetically, it was the morning after this person lip synced for their life on TV. And I called her and I was like, "You shit the bed." "Yeah, I saw you lip sync. That really, you shit the bed." She's like, "Oh, like I shit the bed, girl."
Oh, hashtag bottom problems.
I'm in Seattle, and I'm not saying that story's about Katya, but they're obsessed with her here. They were like, "Oh my God, she was outside doing handstands in the street for underage kids." I was like, "Yeah, it sounds like Katya."
You know, Katya's an amazing acrobat. There's several acrobats like Violet Chachki and Katya are really good at spreading their legs open.
Well, I was watching a video of Violet doing she does silk, aerials, and I'm watching her do it. I'm like, "Girl, the rope's supposed to go around your neck."
Well, I can't wait to see, because, Sharon's tiara got stolen in Atlanta, and there's a photo of Violet actually wearing it, and she's an Atlanta queen. So we're dying to get to the bottom of whether Violet's the one who stole it, or is Violet the one who returned it.
Well, I will say this. I don't believe she took the crown, because I don't believe she's taken this one either. I don't believe that that's true. It's one of those things where she was photographed in it. Absolutely, she was photographed in it, but I really doubt that she knew where it came from, or that,
Right. Well,
I won't tell her story, but from what I know, she was photographed in it, but did not know where it came from, and it was returned to the rightful owner. It was returned to the rightful owner before she even knew that was the crown she was photographed in. She's innocent.
Okay. Because I had heard from Sharon that Sharon said that, her crown was stolen and it was missing. And then she got a phone call from somebody that says, "Hey, I think I do know where your crown is. I'm going to try and get it back for you if I can." And that this person sat outside of somebody else's house for 48 hours or something, waiting for the person to leave. And then they were able to gain access to the house, got in.
They broke in.
I'm not sure exactly how they got in. Maybe a roommate let them in or something like that. Who knows? And then, or they came up with an excuse to get in there and got the crown and returned it to her. But by the time I saw the crown in Pittsburgh, it had been crushed.
People get body snatched overseas every day, and we're talking about 48 hours of a missing aluminum crown. Where are our priorities? This is America.
Well, listen, I think it's, a queen stealing a crown is, that's news to me.
Yeah.
Hashtag justice for Indiana. Javier Lopez says, and this is one thing I'm encouraging all queens who are sort of find themselves in a grassroots movement in support of them is, draw a little attention to, to alleviate pain and suffering of others too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the amazing thing. I was thinking about this too, with the Justice for thing. It's funny because we filmed this like a year ago, but people who are watching the show are experiencing the emotions right now. Like every show I'm showing up to, people are wearing shirts and like body paint and stuff that all says Justice for Trixie, big signs. And I'm just like, this is, in a weird way, getting eliminated is sometimes the best thing that can happen to you.
Can I get an amen up in here, honey?
Yeah. Amen.
Is there anything, Timothy Graff wants to know, is there anything that you feel you didn't anticipate until you actually got there in that situation?
In Drag Race?
Yeah.
Everything. All of it. Well, I would say this, the scariest part, if you can imagine my feelings, I'm standing there in drag, I'm standing there backstage behind the workroom, and I'm hearing the voices inside of who I'm about to meet and who I'm going to have to ultimately compete against. That is probably the most fear I've ever felt in my whole life. Like, I'm looking in a mirror and I'm like, these people are about to look at me, judge me, go into a room and say what their first impressions were of me. And it's just like, oof. And also, I didn't know this, and maybe I'm just stupid. I didn't know that, like, the walls are not real brick. I'm literally just white trash from the woods, and I don't understand things like TV. And so the walls are just fabric.
In the workroom?
Yeah, so like when RuPaul opens the door and says like, hello, 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 you can see like the fabric on the wall do like a wave effect. It's the Matrix, girl. It's the Matrix. The Gaytrix.
You're blowing my mind.
I know. Or so many things. There's cameras behind the mirrors when you're doing your makeup, and that's weird.
You can't see them though, can you?
Like you're doing your makeup and you're talking about your dead mom or whatever, and you see a red light beeping, and you're like, okay. Also, what you don't know is elimination is what the maybe last 10 minutes of an episode. Runway and elimination. That's a whole day. An entire day is the runway and elimination usually.
Well, and is it, everybody complains that they have to be standing for hours on end in high heel shoes. Is it really all that bad? Yeah, you're standing there smiling and you're shifting weight because you're like, it's full on like my shoe is filling with blood. Just keep smiling. Also, what else? Oh, it all moves so fast. Like, for example, this past episode, that day, we walked in, we had to pick a team, be assigned a song, write the parody and the lyrics, record the song, pick out looks, get in drag, record the video. That's all in one day. That's all one day.
And the very next day, or did you have a weekend break? You had to do the next thing.
Well, on that day, we had 2 days off. I remember it being a Friday, and I was like, elimination wasn't till Monday, and I'm sitting in my room for 2 days alone, like, what's going to happen?
Well, do you feel like this rapid fire process sort of has gotten you more efficient as a performer?
I will tell you this. It's not my favorite way to find out things about yourself, but you get put through such a horrible, intense experience. It's almost like you learn so much about yourself because it's almost like if somebody threw a baseball at you, whatever hand you catch it with is your dominant hand. You know what I mean? In this experience, they ask the world of you, and you're reaching, what do you, by reflex, reach into your utility belt and do? That's what you have natural talent for, and that's what you're best at. Really.
Yeah, you know? I gotta say that like we're pretty good at picking out which queens go home early just based on their body language. And you were really good at like fooling us into thinking that you'd win it.
Well, they call it the search for America's Next Drag Superstar. Yeah. And in this case, I went home fourth, but they still found it. You know. I mean, it's really about what you do with it. I mean, I was the first one from season 7 to be in Europe. It's just like, it's not about, Drag Race is a showcase of your talents. You can showcase a lot before 5 episodes.
You're the first one of your season to start selling t-shirts, which seems like such a easy thing to do, but it's like, I'm always amazed that drag queens don't monetize the experience more.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like, for example, selling like posters of myself with my face on it, I was like, that's douchey. That's a really douchey thing to do. I'm not going to do that. But then when I go do gigs, people are like, I wanted a poster of you. You don't have any. You know, people tell you what they want. Or like the tank top is going to be great. It's another Chad Sell graphic, the white tank top with this like geometric rendering of my hard, crazy makeup.
Yeah, we saw it. It's really great.
What I was saying earlier, sorry, was what I've learned from the experience is like I went into the experience thinking like I'm just a drag queen. I'm a drag queen. That's it. But I left the experience, you know, talking. They didn't show this, but like talking backstage with like Kasha Davis or like having other drag queens tell me like you're really funny, and then like you need to do comedy. And this obviously in season 4 they said or episode 4 they said I wasn't funny, but the experience taught me like you know what, if we look at our skills that maybe not everybody has, like comedy is something that I really need to invest more in because that's a gift that not everybody has. You know,
so it's part of it is trying out new things and seeing how audiences react to them and how we feel about how we react to that experience. And I think that you're doing all the right things, Trixie. And
I know.
Never stop trying new things. You hear me, other drag queens listening to this podcast, other children out there? That's the moral of the story here, is never stop trying new things, whether it's food or hobbies or
lovers,
Latin guy.
dicks in your mouth.
Oh my God. I was in Europe. Oh my God. There were so many hot guys there. So many hot guys.
Which country has the hottest guys?
Ooh, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I actually think it might have been Scotland or Ireland.
Those Irish beauties are quite.
Because they're kind of like they seem like a shorter group of guys, and they're all kind of a little more bigger in the arms, and they all have like at least scruff, and they have like just pretty skin and just pretty hair. They're nice, really
and
nice.
A lot of them play rugby, so they've kind of got like a well-developed butt and thighs. So if you're into that, you're like,
Yeah.
I heard their Lucky Charms are magically delicious.
Oh, okay. You're as funny as I was in episode 4.
Oh, that's why. What a mean thing to say to somebody.
I know. Yep.
Well, I look forward to. So you're moving to Chicago.
I am. It's a long time coming, but it's just like even without Drag Race, it's like I was working in Milwaukee, but not really. Like I was too weird for Milwaukee. And then when I started traveling to Chicago and I met Kim and Tranica and Shay, it was like I found my people. Like I was returned to the wild or something. You know, that's my kind of queen. I mean, I'm traveling all over the world now, and I'm telling you, the queens in Chicago, Kim, Shay, Tranica, Valentine, they're like. That's like cream of the crop. They're amazing.
They're a very sweet group, I gotta say, and it hasn't always been like a sweet group of queens in town, you know. So it's nice to see these younger ones coming up and you know, kind of being a collective, a community of people that support each other that aren't, you know, mean and nasty.
Yeah, and I mean, I love traveling, but I can't wait to get back to, you know, it's my fondest memories in drag are like being in the Berlin basement, watching Tranica get drunk and say mean things, and Kim opens the parasol and glitter comes out, and Shay's doing crazy backflips and kicks, and I mean, I miss that. It's so fun.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you looking at yourself and all the other girls on Cooking with Drag Queens. We have some amazing episodes lined up, and we take you into Tranica's basement where she gets drunk and pulls out a knife and stabs a girl to death. No, just kidding.
And then we cook her up. It's called cooking. For drag queens.
Cooking drag queens. And we had to change the width in order for legal reasons.
Dead girl's body just simmering in a cauldron of Fireball. That's like...
Somebody last night was like, Fireball's a trashy liqueur. I'm like, well, we're talking about it.
Girl. Oh my God, in Europe, they don't have Fireball. So everywhere I went, I was like, do you have Fireball? They're like, what? And I like threw myself on the ground.
But you don't drink, do you? Are you drinking now that you've been eliminated?
I will say this: Tuesday night in Germany, all bets were off.
Yeah.
I was like, Germany, there's a party somewhere. I just watched my dreams get crushed on TV in a Hamburger Mary's. I gotta go.
It's Hamburger Mickey's now.
Oh yeah. Well, I performed there and I was so bad they had to rebrand.
Well, it's all the mice sightings.
Which one? The Chicago one?
Yeah, the Chicago one.
I don't that.
It's true.
Mice are people too.
Well, Trixie Mattel, the time has come to end this podcast, but your journey, why don't you do it? You're better at it than I am.
You're better at these puns.
Oh, okay.
Say goodbye to yourself.
Trixie Mattel. I can't think of anything.
You're a real doll.
Oh, Trixie Mattel. On the runway, you're a doll, but your jokes seem a little manufactured.
Yes.
I'm glad you have a sense of humor about it.
Trixie Mattel, life in plastic really wasn't fantastic.
Oh. Keep them coming.
Keep it coming. We could do this podcast
Mattel,
all day long.
You want your out-of-the-box looks to get back in the box. I was working on I want to show people my Snatch game, so I'm probably going to do a RuPaul fantasy and do a video just reading all the queens as RuPaul.
So
I think that needs to happen really soon.
I'm
please.
a little concerned that people might accuse you of doing blackface. Are you worried about that at all?
Well, when I was on the show, actually, I mean, I respect all cultures, and I know my musical theater history. I know about minstrelsy and all of that. And I was like talking to Pearl, and I was like, I want my RuPaul fantasy. If I here for Snatch Game, I want it to be so dead on. And RuPaul has this beautiful like cafe skin tone. I'm like, do you think if I emulate that? She's like, don't finish your sentence. Don't do that. Don't even think about it. All right. It's just a bummer because if I was going to do RuPaul, I want the illusion to be like there.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, because of the mistakes of our past, we have to navigate waters a lot more carefully.
Well, let me give you a little context here. RuPaul contours and highlights so harshly that there are people in this country, in this world, that don't think RuPaul's African American.
People have told me when they meet me at a drag, they tell me that they didn't know that I was basically white.
What did they think you were?
With my contouring and stuff, they think I'm not white.
They
think
thought
I'm
you were a
something.
Neapolitan ice cream package?
Basically.
Oh, thanks. Shout out to your boyfriend for that joke, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to him.
And who's the one that makes the fudgicle joke that you contour with fudgicles?
That was me.
On Twitter said, Trixie Mattel's contouring is giving me fudgesicle fantasy the house down, and I'm so here for it. And I'm like, yes!
Honey, she got that joke from me on the red carpet thing.
I'm watching that shit on TV, and I'm like, this is a year ago, and people are saying I look extreme then. Look at me now. I look like a sock puppet. Like, I look crazy.
So your drag has changed a lot.
I've just pushed. You come back from Drag Race and you learn about yourself, and part of what I learned about myself on the show was like, I love being in a room full of drag queens and looking like I look. It's not a bad thing. It's a great thing.
Well, you certainly stand out. That's for sure.
I know. It was when Lucia Piatti was like, "You didn't stand out for me." I'm like, "Are you kidding?"
Look at me.
As Tempest du Jour says, Trixie Mattel paints for a lunar viewing.
Well, and that's why you'll have a long career in this kind of thing, because you do have a distinctive look, and it's a brand that you have, and you can run with it and do whatever it is you'd like.
What does Lucian Piani know? He was Perez Hilton's music producer. Just so you guys know.
I'm not mad at Lucian. I will say I think he was in person actually devastatingly handsome.
Oh, yeah. He looks gorgeous.
He's a surfer, too. He has a rockin' bod.
Yeah, he's real short, too. He's really cute, though.
Damn it. It's so hard to hate you.
Plus, I only worked for RuPaul for, 4 episodes, and that was thrilling. So he works for her all the time.
So
Can you imagine?
So how long were you gone for then? So 4 episodes, that's what? Is that like 2 weeks?
4 episodes takes like 2 days per episode. Whatever that means. Here's some real inside too. This is messed up. They make you do, because obviously when you meet each other on camera, that's real. And so you perform or you do the promos after the first elimination.
Mm-hmm.
So the promo material shot the day after Tempest was eliminated.
Aw.
That's so sad.
She saddled up and got in drag. She got in the bus to go to she got in like the car to go to the thing. And she gets in the bus with her makeup on and goes, "Hey, remember me?" And we all start laughing. She's such a gem. And she's, she had to suit up in full drag and get in front of the camera and say, "I'm here to win." She committed.
Aw.
That's heartbreaking.
That is heartbreaking.
It's like, I hope that the day will come when they have some sort of vehicle, a reality show where it's, more Big Brother style, where you girls are like living together and you can eliminate somebody, but just eliminating somebody on the first episode, as soon as we get to know them, doesn't sit right with audiences.
It doesn't at all. But here's the reality too. Of first eliminations, Tempest was so beautiful and gracious. we got to know her. We got to know her story, like
really quickly.
Really
Yeah.
quickly. But
I also think, too, because she has a solid foundation. She has children. She has a job. She has a husband that Ru felt comfortable being like, this bitch doesn't need this show. She'll be just fine without it.
well, why couldn't she have said no? Well, she looked at me and she's like, wow, she looks like an idiot and she lives in a garbage can. She doesn't need this show.
Well, when you walked into the room, like, how many of the girls did you, obviously you knew Pearl from Chicago, but other than Pearl, did you know anybody else? Did you recognize anyone else?
I heard through the grapevine Pearl was going to be there. And I was very excited because Pearl is so talented. And she really keeps to herself. So when we worked in Chicago together, we didn't get to talk very much because at shows, Pearl just she sits kind of quietly and drinks a little drink and just chills out before she goes on stage. She's not super talkative. But I got to know her so well on the show. We got really close. But then I've heard of Miss Fame, and I heard she was going to be on there. Kasha Davis, I used to watch Kasha Davis's comedy videos about the cooking, where she just drinks all the wine and gets drunk. So I knew about her. The rest of them, I heard through the grapevine Violet might be on there because I heard Violet Chachki had a Mattel tattoo, and I was like, super fan over here. But that's the only ones I really knew. And the whole time I was leaving, I was like, up to the last second, I was like, Kim, are you on it? And if you don't tell me, and we both go there, it's not funny to me. Like, you need to tell me beforehand. She's like, girl, I didn't even audition.
The secret Asian queen turned out to be you.
I know, so funny. People still believe that Kim's like going to pop up in the middle of the season.
Let me tell you, her episode on Cooking with Drag Queens is probably one of the best ones.
She's the best human. Everything she does is the best.
She's very sweet.
She's so into, it's interesting because when we were interviewing her in her home, she kind of was a little bit like shy and in herself. And the minute she starts physically touching the drag, she comes alive.
Oh yeah. She's a transformation. Like visually, she is like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. That's the production value you get from her. But then as you talk to her as a person, she's like, oh my God, you came to my show. You're so sweet. Did you enjoy it? Oh, I'm so sorry. This didn't go as perfect. And she's just like so sheepish, but she's so fun. And that bitch can tell you, I'm glad you guys got her for Cooking with Drag Queens because I could call Kim at 4 a.m. in Chicago and say, I need chicken wings under $5. And she could tell you the cross street, exactly what it's called on the menu. She knows so much about food.
Girl, we're going to go do some late night dining with you girls very soon.
Yeah. That's my favorite thing is to get out of drag and like trust Kim's instinct at like 2 a.m. Like, I'm hungry. Where should we go? And she knows what's open, where it is, what's on the menu. We always say she's like the Rain Man of drag because like she doesn't miss a thing. If you're performing and Kim's in the audience, that's what real fear is.
Aww.
Because she's
honey.
like, I loved your number, but a minute in, your pinky nail fell off. She doesn't miss anything.
She's a gem, and so are you. Trixie Mattel, your journey continues on and on. You're doing all the right things, and just keep your heart open and don't let your dreams get crushed by a simple elimination.
And we look forward to seeing you back on RuPaul's Drag Race for the reunion show.
Oh, yeah. There's rumors that Trixie Mattel will be returning for the reunion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, somebody on Facebook, I lost her name, but it's like, are you going to like get into a knife fight with RuPaul? That's Caitlin.
I wouldn't get in. My feelings at the reunion will be less hurt, so I'm going to be more excited to be there.
And sincerely, I want to say it was very disappointing to see you go, and I wanted to see so much more of you on that show. And I'm disappointed I'm not going to see much more of you on there.
Well, you guys wanted to be friends with a famous person, and I'm sorry I disappointed you.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello. I say the opposite because the nice thing about Cooking with Drag Queens is we actually get to show the things that you guys don't get to see on RuPaul's Drag Race. And so for me, I'm like thrilled that you got eliminated early because that means that your episode's even more precious and more exciting.
Should we do it? Do you want to? When are you going to come to town next?
I'm actually going to be at Roscoe's on April 27th and 8th for the viewing party with Detox.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm excited to go to Roscoe's because I heard Darian Lake threw a chair when I got eliminated.
She did. Fausto caught it on camera. And you can, folks, you can see that on our Facebook page, facebook.com/feast of fun.
Yeah.
But we should do a viewing party for your episode. Do you think we can talk to Roscoe's and maybe show up beforehand? Would that be something you'd be into? Or are you kind of embarrassed by the project?
You cannot Magnolia Crawford me. Okay. Oh my God. Side note, I met Magnolia Crawford 2 nights ago here in Seattle.
Uh-huh.
She was traveling.
Uh-huh.
She's fucking hot in person.
Oh, I know.
She is like filled out with a big beard and big, beautiful eyes and like glowing skin. And she's like, you don't know me as a boy, but I go by the name of Magnolia Crawford. And I like snapped my neck at her and was like, holy shit.
Oh, he's got a beard now? Because he was cute in person. And we did a video of him where he actually watched his elimination.
I know. I watched
on the runway.
That.
It was the first time he saw it. And people are all like, the comments are like, you guys slept together. Are you guys fucking?
You think after you make him watch that, he would fuck you? Doubt it.
People are asking me that, and I was like, see, the thing about it is like he really was in a very emotionally fragile place, and I wanted to just, console him. And so I put my hand on his shoulder, and people are like, you touched him. You touched him inappropriately.
Meanwhile, I'm laughing because it's just kind of like, it was such a silly setup.
Meanwhile, you guys have touched everyone. Who cares?
Oh, Brian, I've never touched you.
Yet. Oh.
Although we did get to see your tuck job.
I
saw Miss Fame tuck. Did I tell you Miss Fame was tucking in our living room with the dog like sniffing her?
I thought Miss Fame had an assistant for that.
Her husband.
Oh, he was there. Isn't he nice?
Patrick
so
is
sweet.
an angel, and I want anybody who ever speaks disparagingly about Miss Fame and her husband to go through me, honey, because these two people are gems and they're sweet as
and they are
candy.
Obsessed with each other. They are the cutest. Oh God, they're so cute.
And he gave us T-shirts, Miss Fame T-shirts. Faust is wearing them now. It's her whole face, and then the mouth is over Fausto's belly, and he keeps going, "Feed me, Miss Fame." I'm
hungry.
So I keep slapping my dick on this shirt. And
I hate you guys. I hate you so much.
But Miss Fame,
I'm hungry.
I'm going to tell you, Miss Fame, you, Manila Luzon, and Gia Gunn are the only queens from Drag Race that have ever given us a T-shirt.
That's right.
Isn't that
it's
sweet?
not worth. It's because I knew by episode 4 it wouldn't be worth a damn.
Are you kidding? I'm going to sell it. I'm going to sell it on my site for $50, and you know what? I'm going to get it.
I'm gonna get it. This is a limited edition print. This is when her dreams were still alive. Get it?
Can I quote you on that?
Yeah, totally.
Anybody want it? Size large.
Size large. We have all the sizes from trendy twink to cuddly bear.
Trixie, I don't want the
stand, but I got stuff to do. It's Saturday here.
No, this has already taken up entirely too much of my time, so I'm good.
Where are you performing? Of course, you're in Seattle. You're in Seattle right now, right?
I'm in Seattle all weekend at our place. Okay. Yes, and then next weekend, I'm actually in Atlanta with Violet.
Ooh.
Get this. I'm staying over at Violet's house on April Fool's Day. I'm like, if you would have told me, oh no, we're gonna have so much fun though. We're working on a project together.
What is it?
I can't say what it is, but I'm gonna give you a hint. Well, it's pretty much this. We're doing some video content, and some of it is Violet and I are gonna do each other's makeup as each other.
Oh, how's she gonna paint you skinny?
How am I going to paint her talented? I don't know. I'm in Austin at Oil Can Harry's next weekend. So.
Oh, Austin has the hottest men.
We're going to be in Austin on May 1st for the Austin International Drag Festival.
Oh, that sounds so fun. I'm going to be in Boston that weekend, but I've heard that you and Tranica are going. So many queens are going.
Tranica's going.
Isn't she?
I don't know.
She didn't tell me.
I thought I saw that bitch on a poster for it like a long time ago. Maybe I lied.
Maybe not.
I hope that she is.
Ginger Minge will be down there that Monday, though, so excited to see her then.
It's going to be for people who want to hang out with drag queens and not just watch them perform or not just pay $100 to get their autograph and then be shooed off into the sidelines. The Austin International Drag Festival is the place to get quality time with your favorite drag queens. So go check it out, austindragfest.org. And that's a free plug. They didn't pay me to say that. I want to see our peeps there.
Mm-hmm. I miss you guys so much in Chicago. Make sure you come to Roscoe's on the 27th, 28th of April, okay?
For sure.
I'll see if I can make it.
It's going to be, I'm counting the episodes, and that's going to be yet another amazing episode. So we'll watch it together.
I'll see if I have the time for it.
Okay, perfect.
Bye, sweetheart.
Bye, we love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Trixie Mattel right now lives in Wisconsin, and she's traveling around the country, but soon she'll be living next door to us in Chicago.
I hope.
They
lives
all
in our
kind of
hood.
like want to live in the neighborhood, so.
But they're drag queens, they need space. I know some of the queens in nearby, they're like, well, we're looking at other places because we're thinking about
Rogers
living
Park.
together, but we need more room. In Andersonville, it's like, there's some nice places, but a lot of them are small, and if you want a large place, it costs money. And, when you're a drag queen, you need a room dedicated to
You
drag.
need a warehouse.
Yeah, you need a space.
Otherwise, you're sleeping in your wardrobe closet.
Yeah, and it's hell.
I can speak from experience.
And I think that's part of the reason you kind of got out of drag more. When you had more room, you had more place to store this stuff. And now that we're only in like 1,000 square feet, so it's hard.
Oh, that's an interesting way of thinking about it. Like, are all drag queens just guys who live in big apartments?
Well, but and then some people are smart, like our friend Peaches Christ out in San Francisco. She actually has a storage unit that she stores all her drag. She has very little drag at her actual home. I'm sure she might keep some of her makeup and a couple of different things around the house. But no, it's like, put it all there because, you only, you wear it when you need it.
One of the pluses of having your drag in a storage unit is that they get fumigated on a regular basis.
For all the roaches and stuff like that.
And rats. Mm-hmm. There was a drag queen that was it Peaches or somebody?
Peaches, I think in Texas, got some kind of cockroach in her hair.
And
but
she
it's
didn't
not
notice.
Unusual. I mean, it's not unusual because, they like those kind of environments.
The moist environment.
The heat.
The heat that Peaches Christ emanates. See, we mentioned Peaches in every podcast.
I want to remind folks, too, we can't do this podcast without your support. So if you're not a Plus member yet, consider signing up today at feastofun.com/plus because your contribution to the show is what makes this show happen. We wouldn't be able to interview these fabulous queens like Trixie or Peaches or Miss Fame if people didn't support it.
We are giving these drag queens the interviews they deserve on the podcast you deserve. Mm-hmm. Can I get a hallelujah, amen?
Hallelujah. And you can sign up for it at feastofun.com/plus.
Yes, children, and get your Feast of Fun deliciousness into your inbox every day. It's so good.
Goodbye, everyone.
Thanks for listening.